Chat, here we go. Toxic and Kiileerrz. The winner of this match will be joining the main event in a nice 3-0. So not only joining the main event, but giving themselves a nice seed at the start of the main event, which is to say that can mean a lot. You don't want to have to go up against the likes of a Luis P, maybe a Khaled, some of the top seeds that are already there in the Swiss. I'm sure you'd much rather get a chance to go against maybe one of the easier opponents, although there are no easy opponents, especially in this EU tournament, but the NA one as well. Toxic and Kiileerrz. Toxic, a English player who is highly rated on the ones leaderboard. Should be no surprise that Toxic has made his way to 2-0. He is certainly capable of making this main event and was probably, you know, the top player on the edge of just getting invited straight to the main event. Now, on the other side of the field is Kiileerrz. Kiileerrz, a young Middle Eastern player, 14 years old. He uses this goal explosion that we hate, but we forgive him for it because he is such a talented player. A very, very good ones player. In fact, you probably know Rawas, his brother, his twin brother, who is one of the best ones players, period, and is in the main event. Kiileerrz is trying to join him in the main events. And although Kiileerrz has never really focused on ones as much as his brother, he's always performed really, really well on stream and is maybe getting into it a little bit more and more as time goes on because he continues to want to play in events like this. And if he could take Toxic down, that's a big win and a really impressive resume going into the main event Swiss, where he can avoid having to play his brother in the first round, because last time we saw Kiileerrz lose on stream, I think, was against his brother in the Feer Fest 2. He played against Rawas, and Rawas had his number. I think it was a pretty casual win for Rawas, is what I remember. But we'll see if he can take down Toxic. He's got Toxic first. Toxic getting a tying goal at the start. He lost against Evo. That's right. That's right. He did lose. Thank you, Helsing. Kiileerrz did lose against Evo. That is one of, if not the best, that North America has to offer right now. I guess probably not the best, but he is right there on near the top tier. He has been working his way to join the top tier, I would say. And with wins over Lion Blaze, or a win over Lion Blaze, you might as well throw Evo in as one of, you know, the top 3 or 4 in North America. Toxic, his air dribble, I feel like not normally the way he plays in ones, but it will get him a goal. So why not stick with it? Kiileerrz jumping over the top of the bounce, since Toxic really didn't get much of a touch on it. You love Kiileerrz, but you had to say, I know Helsing as a Middle East fan. It's kind of interesting. I wouldn't say there really is fans of any other region, kind of like Sam. I guess KV1 has some Sam fans, but I can kind of tell who the Middle Eastern fans are in chat, just through context of having different show matches on stream. And I have pegged Helsing as a Middle Eastern fan. Toxic, long shot, and a third. Kiileerrz scoring first. Since then, it's been all Toxic. Both these players 2-0 coming into this part of the Swiss bracket, if I didn't make that clear already. Winner qualifies. Loser still has many chances. I'm not sure how often someone starts 2-0 but can't finish it off and ends up going 0-3 to drop out. So there's a really solid chance we see both these guys. Nice dribble by Kiileerrz. Kiileerrz, did he get a ceiling reset or not? Toxic certainly thought he might have. He tried to jump the potential flip that never came. You're a fan of good ones players? True. Well, to be fair, that means you're kind of a Middle East fan. The Middle East players are very, very solid. Honestly, they're so solid, it's like up for debate who is the best ones region, probably. I mean, it's probably still EU, but I think you're probably debating between EU and Middle East. Toxic. Air dribble bump and a fifth. Coming from an EU player, Middle East are your toughest opponents and one's ranked. Khaled, Kiileerrz, Senzo. I haven't seen Senzo play ones. Does Senzo play ones? Toxic. Seeming like he was going for a wave dash kickoff, but he got bounced so high, he just had to use that flip early and try and stick around the play, get a 50. Nice fast challenge to dunk the ball away from Kiileerrz. Not the best touch off the back wall, but super quick recovery. Not going to be enough, though. Kiileerrz, a lethal flick, crossbar and down. Nice play by Kiileerrz. Has himself within 2 of Toxic. He has a minute to make it all the way back up. TRK is a secret top ones player. I'm not sure you hide the secret top ones players within the top 10 of the ranked leaderboard. It's not a great place to hide. If I were to suggest keeping a secret, I would say don't put yourself in the top 10. I would say Kiileerrz is a better argument for someone who is secretly good at ones. Hiding in plain sight, exactly. They'll never expect me. Jory is a secret top ones player. Yes, that's true. That is a good example of a secret top ones player. Does TRK destroy apparently Jack? Oh, you saw TRK destroy apparently Jack. Interesting. Nice fake. Toxic is just playing it so safe. That was fancy. Nice 360 power slide as he taps it away. He needed to, you know, keep this ball moving. He needed to do something similar. That's a really good cat. That's just a great play. I think this game is over. I think that was just a little bit of security with 24 seconds on the clock, but still very impressive. Has anyone else heard of this Khaled guy? You think he's the next big thing? Yeah, he is literally #1 on the leaderboard, like all times. I've actually been kind of surprised. I think First Killer AJ are 1-2 right now. Oh no, First Killer Daniel are 1-2 right now on the leaderboard. At least they were when I checked a couple days ago. Kiileerrz wave dashing like a madman. Toxic up 1-0. Are the NA games tonight? Yes, they are, Crypto. We're going to be chanting them right back to back with this stream, probably. There might be a little bit of time in between. Who are the top 3 ones players? Certainly a question like that won't get chat up in arms. Let's just go ahead and tell you the top ones players in every region right now. And which will be 4. I would say KV1 has Sam. I'm not sure anyone has taken the throne from Khaled in Middle East. I would say Jorias has EU. And I would say that AJ, I'm going to go out and say AJ has North America right now. And we'll find out. I would say whoever wins this this tournament this next weekend, whoever wins the Swamp from NA will be the current king of NA, if you ask me. But I say AJ has it right now because I would say Daniel had it before, no doubt, was unequivocally the king for a long time, but he didn't really play much. And then in his return to ones, he lost to AJ. So Daniel might still be the king. One match doesn't necessarily take him out, but you have to at least put him pretty equal with AJ since they had a close game the last time they played anyways. And AJ has never really gone away. He's just not been playing like in tournaments that Daniel's in. He did beat Evo first. That's true. That's true. Daniel, I think Daniel's got big brother advantage on Evo. That would be my take on that. Meaning, I can't imagine a world in which Evo beats Daniel. It's so tough. Like, I think he's just got such a good mental edge where, like, Evo could become the best player in the entire world, and then it comes to try and beat Daniel and can't do it still. You know what I mean? I heard you were saying that you won't let Vency play on your stream because he was racing towards Middle East players, Middle East in general. What changed? So I'm not fully sure what the deal is with Vency. I know I've seen some questionable stuff from him in the past, so I never want to invite him to play on stream. I've never banned him from tournaments though, so he did sign up for the open qualifiers. And so, I mean, I guess he is playing through the nature of not really strongly investigating the situation with Vency. I'm only mostly aware of what goes on around my stream, which I've never seen any issue with him. So consider himself an opportunity to have a second chance here with the Swamp. But obviously, Bensi, a character that's on very thin ice, considering things that people have told me about him before. So here he gets his opportunity at a second chance, I guess. I mean, I never had any troubles with Bensi. I definitely don't agree with the kind of sentiment that I've heard he's had in the past. Toxic, a first. You need to come into Barry's chat and tell him the score. Wait, nobody's been eliminated though, right? So Nugget should still be in it. Kiileerrz is up 3-1 in this game. Toxic trying to work his way back into this game. Kiileerrz, long air dribble. Toxic pre-jumped it. Kiileerrz tried to go above it, and Toxic, he actually saved it. I thought he own goaled it, but he slams it off the back wall. Toxic on the slow bounce dribble. Cannot touch it past Kiileerrz. Toxic able to get a save. Minute 30. The 2-goal separation, only 3-1 on the game score. Really, Toxic could easily come back at any moment. A couple quick goals. That being said, some weird boost grabs. Maybe he didn't realize Kiileerrz had picked up that corner. I think Kiileerrz... Yeah, just that 100 wasn't even spawning. It's not even that Toxic wasn't going over the top of it. It's just that it wasn't there. So he must not have realized that Kiileerrz had already picked it up. Kiileerrz has way better defense than Nupo. Yeah, Nupo is less of a defensive-minded player. He is a momentum offense type of guy. Kiileerrz is actually a little bit of that too. Certainly more than than unfortunately he always going to be forced to be compared to Rawas. And Rawas is one of the more expert defenders. Kiileerrz doesn't really play it that way. But it was fun watching Rawas in that 2 show match recently on the YouTube. If you guys haven't checked it out, Rawas and Kiileerrz played together against the English duo of Joyo and Relating Wave, and it was really fun to watch Rawas get to unleash a little bit, not playing in his ones mindset. Playing ones correctly sometimes force you to play quote-unquote a little bit more boring than you otherwise would have, and Rawas kind of popped off a little bit, given the opportunity to have a teammate at his back. Toxic. Flick. Saved away. 30 seconds for him to make 3. Not sure he will. Seems like Kiileerrz will be even up the series. Toxic air dribble bump. He needs this to connect, and it won't. Kiileerrz, nice avoidance of the play. Eros, can you talk to Buried or something about? I don't know. I'll have to worry about that after the end of my match. I appreciate you guys helping me, getting me the news, forwarding the news to me. But if you'd like, you can let the Discord that we're running the event handle it as well, because it is very stressful for me to think about things like that forfeit and whatnot. But we'll figure it out. Don't worry. And we got a good game here to see who qualifies. Game number 3. Kiileerrz bouncing back against Toxic. Chat, let's focus in on the game a little bit. We faded away, and I will take credit for that. But this is a solid game against 2 top players. Let's rein it in a little bit. Kiileerrz wanting to start this game number 3, I'm sure, with another lead. He was able to get a slight lead early against Toxic and then kind of hold him off the rest of the game. Toxic, normally not one to be a player who benefits from really high scoring. Actually, I take that back. He's a great kickoff. So, although he doesn't benefit in the way lots of other players who like play fast, do well with more scoring, he does well just because every kickoff opportunity he can get, he can crush it. A bit of a KV1 situation. So that last game, Kiileerrz, it really ended up slowing down a lot. Not a lot of kickoffs. It got late into the game, only 3-1, I think. And that could be Kiileerrz's recipe to being able to take him down. Right now, he's going to take a nice arrow shot off the wall, looking for a second. He's been able to hold on to possession ever since the kickoff. Toxic wasn't able to get anything going, and this 50 will stay in Kiileerrz's possession. Toxic, early challenge. Kiileerrz doing a good job forcing the ball into the corner. And he get it past Toxic. He didn't really have the angle. Kind of just helped clear it away. So Toxic will get his first possession in what feels like the entire game. What will he do with it? A solid flick, and Kiileerrz feels backflip. I think Kiileerrz actually was there, but couldn't execute. Panicked on the quick shot. Oof, yeah, I think a double jump like he maybe was intending to do would have got the save. Toxic half flip as a flick sends it to the absolute moon. He's covering his back wall well. Kiileerrz hasn't been able to find anything whenever he gets a possession in the corner. Oh wow, what a shot. That is a screamer of a shot. Toxic, nice pre-flip to set this all up. That was a really good touch at the midfield to give himself this opportunity. Pre-flipping into the boost and the ball to pop it up to that exact spot where he can rip a hook shot, power shot on net and get himself a second. Every touch is important. And Kiileerrz, man, he is actually going to score quickly off a kickoff. A nice 50. Toxic thought he had time to kind of roll away, pick up boosts. He probably had no choice at that point. Kiileerrz had already won the kickoff and gotten some position. Kiileerrz, a nice save. Toxic cannot force this into Kiileerrz's net, but Kiileerrz is still low on boost, so the offensive possession isn't over. You can see Kiileerrz taking a nice trip around. He doesn't have any left, but he took a trip around to pick up a couple pads, got himself going quick, and then used that to be able to clear it away. And now he's trying to pop it over Toxic. Toxic has done such a good job in defense because Kiileerrz has been noticing the way he's going to challenge and trying to just modify the path of the ball to make sure Toxic misses, and he just never has. That being said, a shot off the back wall is a pass for their opponent. Kiileerrz up 3-2. CRR kind of popping. Yeah, what is the other qualifying game? It's CRR versus who? CRR versus Devoof. Oh, Devoof. Devoof playing well. Devoof qualified for Fearfest 2 as well, but then he had to play Joyas right away, which was a tough break. Be interesting to see what Devoof does, given more opportunities. Assuming if he qualifies after losing to CRR, because you're saying CRR is popping off, he'll have more chances in the Swiss in the main event, so he won't have to just get a tough draw and instantly be out to find out where he should finish. Kiileerrz with possession. Toxic, very interesting backwards challenge. Doesn't ever end up actually making an attempt on the ball. Kiileerrz, is he going to try and stick around this play? No, he'll wave dash away. Again at pads, Toxic is playing with very little as well. It's 360, ends up just dropping it down. The continuation! Oh, Kiileerrz, he just didn't have enough boost to get up early. He had to use the wall, and it just got him to the plate just a little bit late, to where he could not get on the right side of the ball. Close one. Toxic brings himself back within 1. Kiileerrz almost able to get a 5th, but what a save indeed for Toxic as he recovers just in time. Nice dunk. Should be able to tie himself up with Kiileerrz. Oh no, he didn't get a good touch. He didn't have ball cam on. He was just trying to read the circle on the ground to get the right play, and he did not. The ball didn't come down when he thought it would. Ended up spinning past and getting kind of a wheel touch. Very weak. Kiileerrz will score instead. That should have been a tying goal. Now Kiileerrz up 2 with a minute left to go. Has Tryhardlito played? No, he has not. He will be playing later today in the North American event. But chat, are you guys impressed at how I understood his Spanish? OSM just had an absolutely insane goal. Yeah, OSM is probably one of the players who is most likely to have an insane goal. Feer, you live in AZ? You're not? Hey, come on. I also did a lot of assuming, but pretend a lot of context use there. Toxic double jump bump, slams on the Kiileerrz with a nice Goomba stomp. Keeps himself within 2. Where's the OSM match? Exclamation point bracket. You should see who is streaming each match. Should have their Twitch link. Basically, not their Twitch link, but their Twitch name next to the game that they are spectating. Kiileerrz, long shots, probably a 7th. No, Toxic able to save it away, but not going to matter. All he's doing is keeping Kiileerrz on defense as opposed to playing offense, which is what Toxic needs in the final moments. So Kiileerrz, maybe a bit of a surprise, but he's going to be going up 2-1. Getting himself 1 game away from being the first player to qualify 3-0 in this closed qualifier. Winner of this qualifies. That is true, Dutch Lord. Winner of this game will be joining the top 8 or the eventual top 16. Kiileerrz up 2-1. Game number 4. CRR might be first. He's winning in game 3 with 2 minutes left and winning 2-0 in the series. CRR popping off. CRR has been really good. Dude, oh man, this is just such a fun tournament. Chat, is it weird? Is it weird, champ, to talk about my own tournament and say that it's great, it's fun, it's awesome, everyone should watch it? I just think it is. It's gonna be such a good time, and these are such good games all around. Toxic is in the Fennec now. He's had enough of losing, so he'll play in the Fennec instead of the Octane. Kiileerrz takes him off the map. Says that Fennec is a little bit easier to snipe with the double. Kiileerrz! No, Kiileerrz! He wasn't going to go be that fast. You definitely could have scored inside that near post. He just wanted to get, a style point as well. He wanted Toxic to get faked and then score. CRR was def the highest rated player in this qual, in your opinion. I think Toxic was given the 1 seed. CRR might have been given the 2 seed. You could check. You can look at the bracket, and the left side of the bracket is 1 through 8 seed that I gave them. So, Dead Monster I think probably was also pretty high. I think Dead Monster had some good results recently, and Dead Monster qualified for FearFest 2, which is big. I weighted qualifying for previous events pretty highly. I feel like people should be rewarded for playing in previous events and doing well. Kiileerrz trying to get a goal line 50. That is going to be really hard to do. Why is it new for CRR for me? My guess is you haven't refreshed the page to get the title to update. Toxic chip off the back wall. Can't find the tight angle. Kiileerrz' defense has been solid, especially in the past couple of games. And he put himself back in the driver's seat. I think when Toxic has led, he has been able to secure it. And when Kiileerrz has led, he's been able to secure it. So maybe a good early sign for Toxic coming back in this game. Has himself a 2-1. He can get himself just a little bit more separation. He can control the game. because updating titles doesn't automatically put money in Bezos' pocket. Okay. I'm not sure Twitch is that cynical. I'm not sure why they don't automatically update titles, but probably because they have to run like a million checks for like hundreds of thousands of people constantly sending pings to see if the title on their webpage is updated. Something more like that. Not like directly, do I get money if I update the title? Chat, the word that I'm getting, so you guys understand, it seems like Just Us and Nupo are both having to forfeit, from what I can tell, the rest of the event. So we will see where that ends up happening. I think that's going to give some people some convenient free wins. And that's just the way it's going to have to be. I tried to tell them that forfeiting was not an option, that if they weren't going to be able to play the whole day, they need to let me know. I'm not sure why that would change for any certain player, but hey, chat, I've tried to run a bunch of tournaments in the past, and I would be extremely naive to think that I could guarantee everything goes perfectly how I would like it to. So you know what? You just throw your Sages in the chat if those were your favorite players, and we regain. That's the way we do it here on the Feer stream. Toxic. Hook shot for a 5th. It seems like whichever one of these two players can get a little separation, they know how to secure it and milk it for everything it's worth. Toxic has himself a 5-1 lead. Chat, anyone want to use Bezos' money? So we're talking about Bezos. Somebody might as well throw a little Bezos Prime. Then we can all peepo pog that we're getting Bezos back for not automatically updating titles. Nupo's playstyle in his first show matches was better. Yeah, Soars! Any primers? We got one. Soars is the hero. Take that, Bezos. Maybe update your stream titles automatically, and we won't use Prime. Thank you, Soars. Kiileerrz, he's got a second. Toxic went on what I believe was a 6-0 run. Kiileerrz scored first. But now Kiileerrz needs to create a run of his own. Big miss by Toxic. Why does the bracket have it wrong? We'll fix it. Don't worry, Nitri. We won't let it go unnoticed. I imagine Nugget won't let it go unnoticed for sure. Toxic. Nice shot. Kiileerrz trying to stay a little bit too close. It's a really good save. Sent it incredibly high off the backboard, and you can see Kiileerrz kind of trying to stick around. He knows he needs a bunch of goals. Doesn't really want to concede and head back to net. Wants to see if there's some way he could turn it into a continuation shot, but there really wasn't. I tell you what, when Toxic is in the zone on kickoffs, you could be having a tough time playing a show match against him. So 8-2. With a minute left on the clock, it seems like we're going to be going down to Game 5 between the Englishman and his Saudi Arabian opponent. We are considering Rawas's age. His mentality is very good. Yes, I agree. Rawas came and got a bracket reset in Next Gen against Moxie after losing to Moxie in the upper bracket before. And he came back from like serious mistakes, very down. Like, I was blown away by Rawas's mental fortitude, especially in a tournament like Next Gen where mental fortitude is hard to come by. Kiileerrz, kind of a flip reset shot. He ends up just letting it bounce in. Toxic can't get the save. Impressive setup with about as boring of a finish as we could have gotten, but a great fake. Chat, Nugget has already noticed. He's in the Discord saying, wait, why did you guys give Nisaron my win? The own goal was Pog? Yeah, the own goal was insane. Rawas just played keep away and slammed an own goal when his opponent hadn't touched the ball what felt like 45 seconds. Game 5 in the qualifying match, chat. Could we have asked for more? Probably not. Luis P, what's up, man? Nupo 1-2. Nupo apparently having to forfeit the rest of the game. So he started 1-1, and I think during his third match, while being in the lead, had to forfeit. So I'm guessing a parent came by and said, Nupo, you're done. Or he's got to study for an exam or whatever. Luis P and Nupo have already played each other. Luis P washed him. Washed the floor with him. CRR doing good. Spain on top. True. But you also washed him. Luis P has been wax on, wax offing everybody as of late. Toxic in the Fennec. Going to get the first goal. Kiileerrz needs to find some momentum. Coming into this last game. Definitely behind in the momentum department. After what was a dominating game at number 4 win for Fennec Toxic. Kiileerrz chipping this past Toxic, and Toxic must have been low on boost. Only reason why I would expect him to come this far out of net and up the side wall. He had a really awkward half flip as well. Fahad, probably your pick for the tourney. Yeah, Fahad coming off a FearFest 2 win. Certainly. Not a bad idea to think that Fahad could take it. Especially because he clutches up tourneys a lot. As well as on the North American side, I think, when we talked about it, it's going to be either probably AJ or First Killer. And then the second tier I would say is Evo KV1. And then everybody else is unfortunately at a tier underneath those 4. Chronic, I would definitely say Chronic is underneath the Evo KV1 tier for sure. Sleeping on Rawas? Dude, you could say sleeping on and then say almost anybody in the tournament. And I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. Sleeping on Khaled. Sure, yeah. If you're saying that Fahad's going to win, you're probably sleeping on Khaled. Probably sleeping on Rawas. Probably sleeping on Luis P, if you ask me. But I don't want to get too much in his head. I think he's here in chat. Don't want to get his confidence too high. Tie game. Kiileerrz, nice challenge. Toxic just kind of awkward trying to gain possession in midfield, but a good enough bump to make Kiileerrz miss. And Kiileerrz needs a pre-flip. He gets it just in time. Oh, Toxic didn't have any boost, so maybe it wasn't as panicky of a situation as we thought. Don't worry, I haven't played too much once, so you don't expect to win or anything. I see. Kiileerrz. Nice long clear. Buy himself some time. And, ooh, Toxic, what a great boost spawn. Shows up literally right as he gets there. Toxic taking off the map. Feer just wants someone to win who he already knows their PayPal. I don't care who wins. I just want to find out who wins. That's what I was saying before. I think it's gonna be really, really exciting. And I've said this 1,000 times with events. When I win, my winning or losing is based around how smooth the event runs. So I mean, if it runs nice and smooth, then I win. I don't care who wins the tournament. If it falls apart, goes to shambles, which I would say it's never really done, then I kind of lose. Kiileerrz, nice bump off the back wall. I think the closest I've come to losing an event, I really don't think any event has been bad, and I don't think you guys would agree. All of them have given us something good. But Mount 1v1 was the biggest shortcoming of what it could have been since we had to drop Daniel and Khaled. But yeah, assuming that didn't happen, I think Mount 1v1 might have been like the best event we'd run. I really liked the idea for Mount 1v1. Kiileerrz with the lead. Look at this flick. Wow. Even Kiileerrz has to give him a nice one. Not much has been said pretty much all series long between these two in the quick chat, but you've got to mention something. 116 km/h. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Kiileerrz just brushes it off, says, hey man, nothing I can do about that one. Just a nice shot. But now they're tied up. Don't want to let Toxic get rolling on the kickoffs. He's got himself a possession, but Kiileerrz, in the slight pressure, was enough to get Toxic to tap the ball away. Toxic sends himself flying underneath the ball. Kiileerrz will capitalize on the mistake. 4-3. The Feer 5 was pretty dope too. Yeah, the Feer 5 was kind of like Mount 1v1. Feer 5 was Mount Feer instead of just Mount 1v1 in general. But yeah, I liked that a lot. Feer 5 was good. I mean, I enjoy all my tournaments. I think they're all pretty decent if you ask me. I might be a little bit biased though, I'll admit. Kiileerrz with possession and time and a 1-goal lead. Both of these guys have done good jobs of closing distance quick and forcing the player with possession to rush their offense. It's been happening both ways. It happened just there. Toxic, after getting demoed, great job of approaching Kiileerrz, getting Kiileerrz to kind of make a panic quick touch and maybe not get as desirable of a setup. Kiileerrz in a tough spot right now. Toxic has had some really nasty tight angle shots. He's looked lethal in the corner. And when Kiileerrz has been starved out, he has not been able to stop Toxic. And look at that shot. Booming it from the midfield, crossbar down after baiting Kiileerrz out to the midfield boost. Kiileerrz wanted something, but got nothing. And now with 45 seconds left to go, we could be seeing a very crucial goal. Somebody punching their ticket to the main event. Kiileerrz, nice dunk. He taps this around the back wall, and Kiileerrz, he did this earlier in this same game. He may have demoed Toxic this time, or last time, but this time he's just going to chip it over him. Toxic couldn't get the read. He needed to probably try and slam a pinch on the back wall. It's probably his only way of stopping that. He wasn't going to be able to roll up the back wall and get a touch. He needed to just prage and pick a spot on the back wall where he thought Kiileerrz was going to send it. Toxic. Crucial moment right here. Double jump, and he gets himself a fifth. 5-5. 14 seconds left on the clock. I probably shouldn't use Twitch emotes while casting, especially for the YouTubers who are like, what are you talking about? What do you mean prage? Toxic, carry from the side wall. Can he clutch it on 0 seconds? Try to bump Kiileerrz, and he does! He takes him off the map! I don't think a bump would have been enough. Kiileerrz was pretty close to the play. He needed to get demoed, and he did get demoed. Toxic clutches it. In the final moments, can Kiileerrz keep the ball up and potentially send it to overtime? Oh, wow, this is a high chip, but I think it's going to touch ground right there. Yes, Toxic does it. Takes it in Game 5. Kiileerrz, it's not over for him, but he does move down to 2-1. And Toxic will qualify and be one of the first to do so.